Good afternoon. Let's cover the Tacoma, Washington market because there's 219,000 people that live there, and it might be important to them, and it could be also important to you as well. And thank you very much for taking your patience today with me because I'm actually recording in my remote office in Bellevue, Washington, and I don't have all my screens, so there might be a little bit of excessive clicking. So let's get into it right now. But Tacoma, Washington is located about 30 miles south of Seattle, Washington proper. And it's also along I-5 and the Puget Sound area. Now, Tacoma, Washington also is kind of famous for the Tacoma Narrows Bridge collapse back in November 7th, 1940. And I'm going to show you a quick video on this, and I'm going to link it. But I'm going to put this in my video, but this is actually a video from back in the 40s when actually the bridge sustained some high winds and it just wasn't designed right and it actually collapsed. So it's kind of crazy, but a lot of people that aren't familiar with this area, they just don't know that that happened. But I'll send that in the link also. But Tacoma, Washington, I just want to go over some of the sales data because it might be important to you to see exactly what's been going on in the market there. Because this is one of the major areas where people actually work and they live in because it's actually the third largest city inside of Washington. So it's Seattle first, and then it's Spokane, which I'm actually not going to review because that's on the east side of the state. And then it goes to Tacoma, Washington, and that's based on population, not land size. Just so you have a general idea, and then you get further and further down. And I believe Bellevue, Washington, that I just reviewed, is actually the fifth or the sixth largest city inside of Washington. So let's get into it right now, and I appreciate your patience. So Tacoma, Washington, available for purchase, and this was as of 2 days ago. But there was currently on the market right now inside of Tacoma, Washington, there was 421 homes when I pulled this 2 days ago. The average cost per square foot came out to $357 a square foot, and on average, the homes that were available have been on the market for roughly 2 months and were $717,000. Now, also to give you an idea of size-wise, they're about 2,100 square feet, 3 beds and 2 bath, just so you have a general idea of what you're working with. Also, I want to compare Tacoma, Washington's the sales that happened from 2022 July versus the July we just finished up, because that was actually last month, and that's July 2023. So I'm going to compare it right now, and in 2022 for July there was let me get to it right now, 357 homes sold, and the price per square foot came out to $340 a square foot. Also, the listing prices on average were about $545,000, about 15 days on market, 3 beds, 2 baths on average. And now I want to compare this year, July, because what we came out with this year was a little bit less on the homes sold, and that was 286 homes were sold, and the cost per square foot went down to $327 a square foot. That also made our homes on average $518,000, and again it was a 3 bed, 2 bath, and about 1,600 square feet. Now when I averaged the 2 square footages together, I came up with 1,680, and then I was able to compare this year versus last year's cost per square foot, and I came out with a $21,000 decrease in equity. Because last year, if you were to buy that same 3 beds, 2 bath home for 1,680 square feet, it would come out to $570,000 last year. But this year, it would come out to $549,500. So again, that's roughly $21,000 that it actually decreased. And then also, I wanted to compare just in general also for you, because that also means that we had 20% less sales that happened inside of Tacoma, Washington. And again, that's because we had 557 homes sold last year, but this year we only had 286 homes sold. And just as a quick point, I actually cover also the condos that are I also do single family homes and condos only. I do not do any kind of manufactured homes when I do this. Now, also a good tool that you could use if you want, and this is just a quick commercial, but you can go to my website at victorashley.com and just type in Tacoma, Washington, your address, or even your zip code, and it's going to pull up all the listings in your area. And you can also use the aggregator to figure out exactly what's available in pricing wise, or you can even see how much your house is worth. So this is just a quick tool that you can use. And as you can tell, I have right now some listings just pulled up on here, but this is actually live time. So again, like I said, go ahead and take a look at my website, and it's victorashley.com, and I'll be able to help you with that. So back to the numbers, what we came out with, if you were to come, and this is the big thing that I keep on talking about with people, is your rent range. But if you were to rent this house instead of buy it, this is actually one of the markets where it's the most affordable and the closest to covering your rent with your mortgage or your mortgage with your rent. Because if you were to buy this house at 1,680 square feet, 3 beds, 2 bath, and it cost you $550,000 on average, the mortgage is going to be roughly $3,600. And that's your payment, your interest, and then you have to add on your taxes and insurance. So it's very specific to that, because the dollar per square foot comes out to $1.81 per square foot per month, and that's your rent cost right now. So this is actually a market where it's very close to getting to a break even, but it's not there still, just so you have an idea. Because you got to know that it's still 116% more to buy now than it is to rent. And if you went into a mortgage right now, or you went in a mortgage in the last year or two, and you got to move, it still might be more advantageous to rent it out just for a short term, or you'd be looking at actually selling it. And I've covered that before, and I'm going to get into that in about a week or two. I'm going to go over that again. Is it better to buy or sell at this time? So I wanted to get into that. But again, I want to thank you guys for watching my channel and helping me out with this kind of stuff, because it's very important to figure out exactly what your market looks like, as well as what some of the other markets actually are inside of Washington, because real estate's local. And again, when we just talk about Seattle, or we just talk about Washington in whole, it's mostly Seattle. So I wanted to break out some of the smaller markets so you have an idea. And again, it was a pleasure working with you today. This is how you get a hold of me, and I hope you have a fantastic day.